Next set of ratios, leverage. So this is how much debt they have and how reliant are they on debt. Here we selected two ratios, and we'll go to Excel to illustrate how to do the math. Leverage ratios that we've chosen, there are many of these, but we chose two. Total liability ratio, which is the total liabilities divided by total assets. And it says, what percent of our assets were acquired using other people's money? Money that we borrow. And let's do this from scratch again. Equals total liabilities, right there, divided by total assets, right there. And the answer is 41%. And we have one extra year. The shortcut is grab the bottom corner there and drag it. So last year is 43. This year is 41. All right, so things were less risky this year because we're reducing our reliance on liabilities, which means we're having more of our assets acquired by equity, which makes us safer, right? So that's the interpretation. Next calculation is times interest earned. This sounds a little complicated, but it's a pretty clever ratio because what it does is says, for every dollar of interest you owe, how much profits do you have to cover that? With the idea that it should be a big number. If that ratio equals 1, that means for every dollar of interest, I have $1 of profit. That's not very good because you just took all the profit. But if it says for every dollar of interest, I have $20 of profit. Oh, okay. If I earn $20 in profit, I'm happy to pay just $1 in interest, right? So we want this rate to be high, and that's what this represents. Let's go and compute this from scratch. I'll delete it. Equals, it is the operating income or earnings before interest and taxes, more technically. So here, EBIT divided by the interest expense. And here it was a negative number. It's a negative number, which means it's not applicable because it means that we had negative interest expense. We had no interest expense to really think of, and we had a lot of interest earnings. Therefore, this number turned to be a positive number. So if we copy it, we'll see the prior year. Prior year is 59. And that's similar to what I was saying. For every dollar of interest expense Intel had in 2017, they had $59 of profit. Way, way, way more than they need. And similarly, in 2019, they had almost no interest expense in that year. And again, that number turned negative because we actually had more revenues than expenses.